on Vice TV on November 22nd in front of about 7 million people. Damon and his beautiful wife came to our premiere, and it was just kind of surreal. How someone like me, from where I come from, can be sitting on any stage, you know what I mean, and talk about anything. But to be able to be at the level that I am, my clients are not just dealers. I throw conferences, so my clients are huge publicly traded vendors, you know, companies like internet brands that are $12 billion. And these people sponsor like my radio show and all this stuff. And it still blows me away, but you know what it is? It's our industry. Damon told me that he's got a brother that works for him that had a record, and through stupid laws, this guy is so talented, right, Damon? He worked so hard, and because he had a conviction a long time ago, he might lose his sales license. So Damon, like he does for everybody in here, is fighting for this dude to be able to just have a career that he can be proud of. You know what I'm saying? So much respect to you on that. See, a lot of times we focus on, you know, it's hard to find people. No, it's really not. The whole presentation that I'm gonna have is broken into 2 parts. I'm gonna finish today, I got like 22 minutes right now, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do the second half. This is the information, you know, the shock and awe type part of it. Tomorrow is the tactical, like, blueprint of how to actually do this. So when I was tasked to come up with a custom presentation with you, I was thinking, all right, what can I do to add maximum value immediately at this type of an event? Now, obviously with the pandemic, we have inventory, and there's probably a million people to talk about that, but I'm gonna talk about the other big problem is people. I've been in the business for 23 years in the automotive industry, and it's not changed. The attrition is 70 to 80%. Anybody at Chrysler dealership in here? Chrysler? Okay, well, congratulations. You guys won as the OEM that has the highest attrition a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? It was 80% on a national level. Just wrap your mind around that. If you have 10 salespeople, 7 to 8 of them are not gonna be there by next year. Why? And so you heard me in the Vice TV show talk about the average salesperson sells 9.6 cars, and that's before the pandemic, before the inventory crisis. So part of what I do at the Millionaire Car Salesman brand is I study the most talented, successful people in our industry. So this is one of the new ones that are on my radar. So this, I don't know if you guys heard of Cody Carter. Cody Carter, as of 2021, has sold more units than anybody. My friend, there is also Ali Retta. Ali's the one that broke the Guinness Book of World Records, but he's ahead of Ali for this year. You know what I'm saying? This dude sold 154 units in March 2021 in the middle of a pandemic. In an inventory crisis, I went to his dealership at Tustin Toyota on the showroom floor. How does a person sell 154 cars on the showroom floor? Do you guys hear me? 100, that's about 60% more than the average dealership. This person is selling cars. He's got one assistant, which is his sister-in-law, and he just hired another assistant that's still going through training, okay? And to make over $1 million in a year selling cars, God bless America, are you kidding me? Like, somebody like that is a rare breed. Now, well, it must be luck, right? So I'm gonna go into my own family. So Tiana, where's my girl at? Can you stand up for a second? So this is our eldest daughter. So Tiana, she worked for 3 years at Patriot Buick GMC. Because in my house, you know, you can't work for our company unless you have frontline experience, unless you've taken ups and you're about that life. And no, I wasn't gonna let her go into a Highline store or an import store. I put her through it. She went to work for Buick, you know what I'm saying? The struggle's real, you feel me? And so, yeah, thank you. And she was averaging 20 units at a Buick dealership, okay? 20 units a month, but outgrossing people selling, you know, 27, 30 units. How? She built her own website called T Got Your Keys. So write that down, go to your phones, look at T Got Your Keys. She's a salesperson. She got into the business at 19 years old, and she built her brand within the dealership. Some crazy stuff is she was using Instagram and Facebook Ad Manager as a salesperson and driving traffic. She's in the LGBT community, right? So she was targeting the LGBT, you know, community through Facebook and Instagram ads. She has, and it's all documented and video recorded, she had people drive an hour and 20 minutes off of a $6 ad to buy a used car with like a $5,500 front end before the pandemic, okay? as a salesperson because I taught her that car sales is like owning your own business. But it's not just regular courses like your own business. No. To have product knowledge and to have the road to the sale is not being an entrepreneur. It's not. There's so many other layers, and if we're not teaching our salespeople how to hunt, gather, like the whole gazelle thing that we saw, shout out to ET, you know what I mean? But again, look, that sounds nice about hunting gazelles, but if you don't know how to hunt a gazelle, then you're not really a lion. And that's the problem, is that we don't give these resources. She started her own TikTok. And I'm a little swole because I'm Sean D. Bradley, and my daughter's got 2.4 million views on one TikTok video. I don't have not damn one video that's got 2.4 million views on it, you know what I'm saying? But she just comes out of nowhere and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna Debo this. And she sold 10 cars. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cars off of one free TikTok video. How crazy is that? That's some real new millennial type Generation Z stuff right there. Using Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok to sell cars like candy bars. Now, okay, that must be a mistake. I mean, Sean got lucky as his one daughter. Nah, check this out. My whole family is ill right now, okay? So we've got my other daughter, the young one. She now works she's been in the business for 1 year. She too averages 20 cars a month. She's got her own website called K Got You Covered. And no, I don't sell websites. I don't even resell websites. It's just that I'm smart knowing that if we want them to be successful, they have to build their brand within the brand that they're representing. So again, she's making $11,000 a month. Now don't get me wrong, the grosses are high, but still, damn, $11,000 for a 20-year-old? I mean, that's crazy. That must be another coincidence, right? Nah, here's another one. Here goes my nephew. Okay, so he works at where my daughter worked at the Buick dealership. He was at a bank. He was a bank teller, you know what I mean? Like, let me get your deposit slip and see when I see you, and here's your green pen and that stuff, right? He is making $12,000 a month. He too has his own website. He's driving traffic. Here, folks, let me just put this math down. There's 8 ways that a showroom sales consultant can sell cars. There's 8 ways that a dealership can sell cars. Ready? Walk-ins, be-back, internet, phone, prior customers, right? / orphan owners, service conversions, referrals, and the lost auto prospecting. Okay, the problem is that the average salesperson is only triggered on 2 to 3 out of those 8. Do the math. Look at how many units you sell, and then ask yourself, after you look what you did last month, how many of them are for internet, phone, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much a large chunk of them, but what are the other 6 ways? What about B-backs, orphan owners, prior customers, service conversions, referrals, and a lost art of prospecting? We do not maximize those. Now, why? That's what I'm gonna get into tomorrow, is the whole why aspect of it. But why is this not normal? The success that I've had in the industry, that my kids and my nephew has, other people, the top performers, why isn't this SOP? Why isn't this standard operating procedure? Well, again, I think that the largest problem, honestly, is people. Now, let me tell you, I'm a Franklin Covey certified trainer and facilitator. Everybody read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Thank you. Okay, good. Dr. Covey, me and my wife had the honor to be able to train under Dr. Covey, and I'll never forget. 3rd habit is put first things first. Be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. Again, be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. So whenever I make decisions, or I tell my clients to make decisions, put them in preeminent order, which means there's a million things that a dealership can do to fix. I get that. What is the one thing, the preeminent thing that you could do that's gonna have the most dramatic effect? It's your people. I don't care if you were a Ford dealership, let's just use Damon. If you're a Nissan dealership, and by the way, I worked at 2 super awesome, famous Nissan stores, so I definitely rock it with Nissan. And again, but what's different from your Altimas or ABC Nissan's Altimas? Not a damn thing. An Altima's an Altima. The difference is your people, your mission, your values, your culture. See, when I was in the streets, I was of the independent mindset. You know what I mean? Like there's songs, I'm an independent woman, all that stuff right there. I'm gonna do it by myself. When I was a 30-car guy, I was all about like myself. I wouldn't kick another person in the throat to take it up, but I wasn't trying to help them. See, as I grew older and wiser, I understand a whole other word called interdependence. Interdependence is about we and about us, about synergy and about collaboration. There's a reason why 65% of all Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 corporations go through the Franklin Covey certification because it teaches and evolves true effectiveness. Effectiveness is the roots to everything else. Prosperity, wealth, happiness, blah, 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 blah. Does this make sense, everybody? All right, cool. So for me, I want to be able to kind of just really impart on you, if you want to have a dramatic change, a long-term change, not like a superficial little Band-Aid, you need to work on the culture. Everybody's heard of Glenn Lundy, right? My man Glenn Lundy? Yo, strong brother. When he did a Dan Cummins Chevrolet, taking a store in Paris, Kentucky from 150 units to over 1,000 units and averaging like 800 units a month. I asked Glenn, I interviewed him on my national radio show for iHeart, and he was like, man, we changed the culture. Instead of focusing on objections, rebuttals, and blah, 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 all that stuff, you know what he did? He said, Sean, we at our organization, Dan Cummins, said, man, if we have an employee, a team member in an organization that's a parent, then they probably want to be the best parent. So we want to try to give them parenting skills. If they are married, they probably, want to be the best spouse that they can. So we're going to provide those type of unconventional resources on financing, parenting, just being a better human being, instead of just focusing on the act of objections, rebuttals, or money. See, if you think about it, success has got to be holistic. Or else, you ever see those people that look really weird, no offense, that are in the gym, that are like cock diesel on the arms, they got gummy legs, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, they fall right over. Well, that's what happens to a lot of people in dealerships. They're good on the floor, they're good on the internet, but they're miserable in other aspects of their life. They don't spend time with their loved ones. Okay, their kids are mad at them for missing games. They're not properly, like happy and motivated. If you don't think that helps being successful, think about it. There's been university studies, like UPenn did a study that the number one reason that people work at a place is not income. Income is number 4. There's other things that are more important to people than just the paycheck that they're getting. But dealers are neglecting that stuff. Now, this is what blows me away. I'm a math person. You guys know I was making stupid money as a teenager, right? Flipping. So I get math. How is it that we spend $64,000 on marketing and advertising to throw shit against the wall, but we spend less than $1,000 a month, right, to develop our people, for training, for personal development, for professional development, for team building? It doesn't make any kind of sense to me. So, again, from Covey, I learned this, and I love this, and I live by this. You can really tell what's important to somebody by their spends. Where do they spend their time, and where do they spend their money? One more time. Where do they spend their time, and where do they spend their money? You could talk that rah-rah stuff like, oh, I'm about training, I'm about my people. Really? Okay, then what are you actually doing to develop your people? What are you actually doing to be able to take that person to the next level? Now, again, if you think about this, we say automotive sales professionals. That's a term for us, right? Right? Yes. Thank you. This would be much better if it's interactive, I promise. Okay? So, if that's the case, then how many other professional sports, or professional athletes, professional soldiers, like SEALs, Olympians, and all that stuff, that just kind of, they're alive, you're hired, right? They recruit sometimes in high school. They go all over the country to scout, to find people, yes or no? Yes. Because talent is important. Man, again, go Eagles, and I'll take in anybody that has any challenges with that. So we're repping Philly up here. So again, thank you, go Eagles. When that whole thing with Nick Foles and Carson Wentz, can you imagine like owning the Eagles and having to make a crazy decision like that? When have you ever had a dealership as a manager and owner, and you're like, you know what? I got 3 super awesome people. Who am I to cut for the team? Never ever happened, right? Because we either hired them dead or killed them after we got them. One of my people, his name's Craig Locker, he's a recruiter. I love that saying. Did we hire them dead or kill them after we got them? What does that mean? Did we hire the wrong person? Did we do a real crappy job in recruiting and hiring somebody that was not the right person? Or did we have somebody that was amazing potential, but we had a crappy onboarding process? We had a crappy, antiquated training strategy. And then we lost them because they weren't making money, they weren't happy. Sound familiar? Yes? Yeah, of course. Here's the other thing that I'm going to say. And I really want you to listen to this. Training has evolved. Okay, so you ever see those old school boxes? Okay, David, I'm gonna have some fun with you here. You ever see those old school boxes and like, put them up, right? The old school boxes from like the 40s and stuff, right? That's how a lot of you guys are getting down with training. Training right now is like mixed martial arts, like double weight classes. If you're in automotive sales, you can't just be good on showroom sales or closing. You've got to be diversified in video, marketing, advertising, branding, social media, building a platform, time maximization, and a myriad of other things to be successful. I mean, for the love of God, this ain't a joke. This dude that I just showed you is making over $1 million selling Toyotas. Not Ferraris, not Lamborghinis, Toyotas. $1 million. Potential. I know a lot of people, especially now with the inventory and the grosses, that are 6 figures. Like, my kids, my little babies, they're 20 years old and they're making $11,000 a month at 20 years old. And you know what's sad too? Is that most people don't know what to do with that money. Just like rock stars, rap stars, and athletes, they get that check. And like me, they're buying black diamonds and all sorts of Balenciagas and shit. You know what I mean? They look good, the drip is real, but then they have no money. We need to do a better job in educating these people. We need to do a better job in providing resources so they can do more, be more, and achieve more. Do you guys agree with me?
Yeah.
Make some noise if you agree with me, please. And this is why I love, what NAMAD is doing. Like, I felt at home yesterday. Like, this is definitely a different vibe than all the major events in the automotive industry, and you guys definitely have a very, very cool vibe. Everybody's, I'd say more real, you know what I'm saying? And just like very conversational, and we just want to turn around and win. And I'm gonna say this also, there's not enough minorities, there's not enough women in the automotive industry, period. Right or wrong? I'm first generation in this country. My dad is from Belize, my mother's from Honduras and Sicily, so I'm first generation, from New York. And to be able to be here with an association that the mission is to try to help people that are like me and my family, get on, is just special, because unfortunately, if we don't look out for ourselves, who's gonna do it? Think about it, who's gonna do it, right? All right, so what I'm gonna wind up doing is this. This is my first time on NAMAD, so I broke the PowerPoint down. I figured I want to give you the information like this. Tomorrow, what time am I speaking in? Tomorrow is going to be part 2, where it's not going to just be feely. Like, no offense, I hate when I see speakers that get you hyped up, and it's like, okay, what do we do? No, my gift is I am an expert with GPS precision and reverse engineering. So tomorrow, when we do my second half of this session, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna focus on a couple things. I'm gonna skip on this for a second, on recruiting, staffing, onboarding, training, and talent development. See, a lot of people don't know this, but my company, we've been in business for almost 18 years. I have recruited 37,000 automotive professionals in the United States. We're top rating certified, which is one of the top recruiting companies in the world, and I'm also Franklin Covey certified. So I've learned a lot, and it's crazy. There's a lot of things that dealers are missing on the proper recruiting side, which is why I think it's hard to find the people that you need when you need them. So we're gonna come up with, I promise you, some very unique content tomorrow on the recruiting staffing side. I wanna focus on how to properly onboard your people in 2021 going into 2022, because, I know some of you damn sure have one of these, right? This is Miami. Who had one of those bag phones? Be honest. Okay. Oh, David, I knew you would. Okay. So think about that, right? The big brick bag phone to an iPhone 13 Pro. Big difference, right? Okay. Think about that. That's the same type of dramatic correlation for training stuff. I mean, training, like, things have changed so rapidly. You had some amazing vendors here, like with Cox Automotive and that opened up this morning. I mean, this is really amazing things, but who's gonna do that? Who's gonna teach your people all this stuff? CRM, digital retailing, the new way to communicate, engage. I was talking to people yesterday at my booth, respectfully, and I was like, fire, ooh, flames, wow. I mean, I've been doing this shit for like 15 years, the stuff that I'm telling them, and dealers in 2021 are still not doing this stuff yet. Here's the reality though. You need to pay attention, people. This COVID thing is like that Thanos blip. You remember that? The Avengers? Just like that, boom, the world just changed. And Dr. Covey says it takes roughly about 6 weeks to make or break a habit. Well, we've been in this pandemic for 18 months. That means that the world has changed dramatically forever on the way that they communicate, the way that they celebrate. Do you know that people were doing weddings? People were dying in the hospital and they couldn't visit them, so they had to say goodbye to their loved one through a freaking iPad. I mean, think about this. Senior citizens are using their Samsung refrigerator, their Instacart to turn around and order groceries. I mean, that's the world we live in right now, where people are way, way more comfortable with video communication, automation, Amazon, and all this stuff. And I mean, Corey Mosley killed it, Duran Cage killed it. You know, to be successful, you have to out-experience the competition. A very good friend of mine, Roy Davila, who's, with Alex Flores' group, the Bravo Auto Group, says it, best is that you don't want to compete. You want to out-experience your competition. You need to be able to create that incredible wow factor, that experience to keep having them come back. And how are you going to do that? Start with your people. Develop people that are going to have an impenetrable culture, and they're going to perpetuate your brand. All right. So I'm going to go into the rest of this tomorrow. I want to go through a couple of things. Me and my team are going to be right there. If you got any questions, I'm here till Thursday, right? I would encourage all you guys to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group. It's free. Facebook Corporate has actually rated us as the #1 Facebook group. We got almost 22,000 members. And there's dealer principals and GMs, internet directors, BDC directors. I don't allow vendors in. You know what I mean? It's literally like 99% pure. It's like Medellin up in there, you feel me? It's pure dealers. So there's no, selling or whatever. It's a mastermind group. Damon, would you agree? 100%. Other thing I'm gonna say is this. I'm really proud and honored that not only is Damon gonna be a featured speaker at our event next month, but NAMAD is also a sponsor. Now, again, I've been hosting events for the last 14, going on 15 years. And I have a major event next month, and what I'd like to be able to do is have more minority dealers, minority, power shakers, meaning like people that are, really strong, whether it's in sales or management at the event. So if you guys are interested, I'll comp you. I just want to be able to have more representation of our community on the national stage. Cool? All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, and I have 1 minute and 16 seconds left. Yeah, see, I'm a professional. You know what I'm saying? I'm a professional. So I got time for a couple questions. If you guys have any questions, if not, cool. I'll get off the stage early, but I saved a little time for questions. Going once, going twice. Damn, nothing?
Talk about the training.
The training.
The training for
The blind man. Yeah. Okay. So. I don't want to turn this into a commercial, but I have the largest training platform in the world on Lightspeed VT. It's called Bradley On Demand. It is a video on demand training, tracking, testing, certification. I literally have 7,000 modules on there. I spent about $6 million cash in developing this. There's training for every aspect of the dealership, from receptionist to new showroom sales, advanced showroom sales. I even have a section called Millionaire Car Salesman, and the top 3 salespeople in the world, Ali Reda, Frank Carniti, Cody Carter, have entire curriculums. So can you imagine having your people learn from people that are averaging 130 units minimum per month on the showroom floor? We have training on there for CRM, internet sales, BDC, digital marketing. I'm a best-selling author of a book called Googleopoly. So my clients are professional athletes from the NFL, UFC, and major label recording artists. So I'm pretty nasty with social media, as you see with my kids with their websites. So we actually have an entire section on the platform that is designed, to help, whether it's the dealership with marketing, advertising, branding, or more importantly, in my opinion, is helping the individual salespeople to be like their own dealership, metaphorically speaking. My vision is that if I'm working for Damon at Nissan of Bowie and I'm a salesperson, it might be the orange tie car guy normally, right? Okay, I want to be metaphorically a franchise of Damon, I want to be able to build my brand within his Nissan dealership, if that makes sense. So anyway, folks, I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to share a little experience. Tomorrow's second half, my wife, I got to brag on her for like about 30 seconds. She is one of the absolute most incredible at time maximization. She's also a certified Franklin Covey trainer. She's gonna be teaching time maximization tomorrow, and I think right after her, I'm gonna do my presentation. Thank you guys again for having me, I appreciate it.